Campaign Africa commemorates the 60th anniversary since the formation of the Organization of African Unity. We wind down our Africa Month content by exploring the 6th region as Campaign Africa features the heart and soul of interior designer and stylist Maleka Bent Jamaa.
Welcome to Campaign Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your journey as a stylist, interior designer.
Yes,
connoisseur.
I love to. Well, thank you for inviting me, first of all. It's absolutely my privilege to be a part of this whole journey. And yes, the journey being a stylist was also a journey. And I've been an entrepreneur from 24 years old, did a lot of different things. And at one point, it felt like what I really love is make people happy, but also giving them a space where they feel at home and where the energy flows. And it's not so weird that I got this, because when I was younger, my father is a Moroccan, come from Morocco, and my mother is a Dutch woman. So I have a blonde mother with blue eyes on one side and a dark father, very African. And so they always bought property in Morocco. They designed it, kind of styled it in their way, or either sold it or rented out. And as a kid, I saw that. And I loved the Moroccan vibe because, it's that African vibe. And at the same time, it felt like, this is something I love. And later in my life, that came back. And I didn't even realize where it came from. Sometimes you do something and then eventually you realize, oh my God, it's because, I grew up with this.
Right.
I didn't realize.
Right.
And then all the traveling where I got in touch with different cultures, different flows and feelings and designs and people, it really sparkled my creative side, and it was ready to do it. And now I just love to give people that good energy. That's for me the most important thing. It's not just about a beautiful couch or a vase or, all those separate things don't mean much if it's not connected to each other. And if you come home and you don't feel like, ooh, this feels at ease, or this feels like I'm getting inspired, or I feel that I can land for my whole day of working.
Right.
So anything people want to experience, I love to create it.
Tell us, where has your work taken you around the world?
It's quite amazing, because I started with the idea and I did the interior architecture course lessons, and halfway it felt like, it really feels too technical for me. Right. I really don't feel like I'm really doing something, or I got straight A's, but at the same time feels like I'm missing something, and I don't feel like I understand it, because if you don't do it and live through it. So I started really styling with friends' homes and, like people, and I did it for free. Why? Because I believe if you give, you always get back. Not that that's the reason how to give, but, and at the same time, I also felt like that gives me the feeling about feeling out, what do I want and how do I want it? Yes. And pretty soon people start seeing my work and really referring to me. And pretty soon I felt like, I really like to go more also with the commercial spaces and more like in other countries do things. And right away, when I got the feeling, I got the first offer in Curacao and then in Spain. And it was like so amazing how when you have this feeling, this is what I want to do, when it happens. And then later in the also now in Ghana, and it's really amazing to to be the stylist of, let's say, Shark Island, which is like an amazing resort in the making right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and also with my friend, a project in Aburi, we're going to do a whole eco village. So it's more than just interior styling. It's also about the idea and the whole program process.
Wow. Tell us about the exciting Shark Island vision. Because we got to
Yes.
hear a little bit from Marvin, and we got very excited also.
Yes, definitely. These are my passion projects. So I even talk about it in the Netherlands and arrange some things just because I'm so excited about it. And yeah, I met Marvin. It was like I saw the whole project and I was like, I have to go there. So we went there and it took a little, like 2.5 hours to get there. And it was like when I was coming with the boat from Ada to the island, it felt like I, in a way, came to Thailand or something. It
Oh,
was like,
wow.
wow. Yeah, it's like this nature totally not touched in a way. And then I met Marvin, and right away it felt like a click, like, oh my God, I just love his vision. I love the way he thinks and
Yeah,
the way his 2 feet are still very good on the ground. And I
right.
was like, I would love to be a part of it. And at the same time, we were talking, he was like, would you want to be the stylist of this project? And I said, absolutely. So right away we hit it up. Right away, the next day we were talking together. I had a part of a presentation that I was feeling like, okay, maybe this is like we could do it. And what I like about, he is the man part. He's the one that is like, obviously he's a ex-Marine and a songwriter. Did some great songs for Alicia Keys, Mary J. Blige. So he really has those two sides, like poetry one side and the marine guy at the other side.
Right.
And it's a very manly idea that he has with all the sharks and like the dolphins in the water, the games, and very American things. And I'm the one who's going to bring a little bit more of a female touch and the island feeling into the whole thing, because I love that island vibe. And yeah, so I think together we're going to create something beautiful. So the first houses are now going to be built. I made a design with the architect now, who I was working with already, and they're going to look amazing in a couple of months already.
What does it mean for you to be African?
For me, the first thing that comes up to me when you ask this question is back to the roots. That's the first thing that comes up to me. And I think that kind of says everything. It feels, one or the other way, it feels like home. Back to the roots, like all the answers that I want, need, look for, I think I can find here. And because the fact that I'm half Moroccan, half Dutch, I really feel as a woman, and I always say it, more Moroccan than Dutch. And because that that African spirit is just so big. And I also said it in a seminar this week. I said, I don't know what it is. Also with the women, there's just this power, there's just this energy that the African woman has. I can't put my finger on it, why it is, what it is, but I really want to find out also for myself, because if I get in touch more with this part, then more things will happen. And I think it's also, when you ask that question, I think of in the Western world, my Dutch side says more about okay, you have to do, and whatever you do defines who you are. And to me, it says, okay, that says something about my personality, about my ego, maybe. But who am I when I don't do what I do? And a lot of people in the Western society have challenges with that, because if the role falls away, if their business falls away, they have an identity crisis. Now, what I feel here, it has so much to do with being. Just be. And being is enough. And I had to learn that, still learning that. But when I'm here right now in Accra, in the Labadi, and when I'm here, it feels like I get more in touch with my being side. So I don't need to work as hard or prove myself or do so much to feel good about myself.
What responsibility do you owe to Africa?
Yes, I think not to take, but to bring. That's one thing. And I think we're doing that with the MHRIP project for sure. And it doesn't have to be, it can be with your neighbor. It can be with, it doesn't, sometimes we think in a very huge way, but it can start small. If we can make a difference for one person, two persons, three persons, we're doing good. So definitely that. And at the same time, I think creating more awareness about also in the Western world, because I really don't like how a lot of people look at Africa. And because of maybe the media or what they show, and it's like, let's create some more awareness. And I really see that already by the fact that I am working here now and coming more often, and with all the stories that I can bring back, that people respond to, oh my God, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's so neat. And oh, I want to go, I want to see.
Right.
And I like that. So awareness, I think, is a very important thing. And yeah.
Only 11 of the 54 countries on the continent stop and commemorate still. And this is the number has decreased from 1963, because there were 32 states that came together in 1963. But we've seen the decline, the lack of interest, or I don't know, whatever the reasons are. But how does this sit when you hear that? What does it sound like to you? Let's hear your reaction.
Yes, I have to be honest, I don't know too much about it, but I love to learn about it. But the first thing that comes in mind to me is like, when we work together, we are much stronger. So I think that's something that can be created, because 11, good, but it can be more. So yeah, I think working together is always the way to go. So I hope it will grow.
Thank you so much, Maleka. Thank you for your time. And we're looking forward to coming and jumping on your couches.
Yes.
Whether it's the Eco Lodge or it's Shark Island, we are definitely making our way.
Hi, I am Maleka from Morocco and the Netherlands. Welcome to Campaign Africa, channeling wealth to good use.